Now, to put it bluntly, they hold me hostage. It's just a matter of, like they control me. I got to control them. Uh,
So, do you mind me asking what?
well,
So if I see it, I'll make sure you don't see it.
one phobia is there's two phobias that right to control me. One phobia is special. I have this phobia of going blind.
Really?
And
You have bad eyes?
Oh no, my vision is fine. It's just that I fear everything's based on imagination. For example, one of the things is that I'm afraid of having a loose hangnail that if I rub my eye, it'll scratch me and blind me type of thing. Now my doctor tells me that can't happen.
Yeah.
Because the eye is pretty strong, and
I always rub my eyes.
yeah, I mean, I've been going through recovery in itself.
What?
It is recovery?
What's that?
It's a self-help group.
Oh yeah.
It's,
Is that like it's another one that publishes Phoenix Rising? What's the group that does that?
Oh, on our own. On our own, a bunch of idiots. I haven't been in that group.
No.
Since '84. They're a bunch of idiots. Yeah. I've gotten out of that group. It was an interesting experience. But like, when I was working with you there at the restaurant, I always had my goals in life are scattered 3 or 4 or 5 different directions. But I always had hope. Now I know exactly what I want to do with my life, but there's no hope there. There's just a lot of questions, a lot of pain I've gone through. I was engaged to a girl from England.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard. Last time I talked to her was January '85.
Right.
It's a long, complicated story, but it's just. For some strange reason, she stopped writing, and my family figured she's rekindled some direct husband and found a new boyfriend. And there's been a lot of questioning, a lot of values that have been questioned a lot. And I'm a lot stronger because of it.
You still go to the Clark?
No, I haven't been there for.
I stopped going.
I went there once, and and then they referred me to. What did they do? I was seeing a doctor over by Blue and Sherburne. Then I went to the Clark, and then they referred me back to this doctor again. I had gone to this doctor at Blue and Sherburne, gone to the Clark. I stopped seeing the doctor at the Blue and Sherburne, and I want to get back into some form of therapy, so I decided to go with the Clark. They have my file, which is about so thick.
How thick?
But then they said, they mentioned this doctor was seeing, and I decided to see him again. And he and I have a very good rapport. The only problem is that I see him once a month, and he gives me medication if I want it. It's better free choice.
Yeah.
And well, as I said, I now know what I got to do with my life, and in terms of this.
What do you want to do with your life?
I want to be a writer.
A writer.
Comedy writer.
Comedy writer, yeah. Have you been doing much writing?
Not really, because of my nerves that made me very depressed and very lethargic. And I've been wrestling with the concept whether or not it's mandatory to try to better ourselves. I don't know. I really don't know. I've been going through more or less a religious, spiritual, what's the word I'm thinking of?
Bullshit?
It's more like...
Renewal.
No, more of a
internal
questioning about my religious values. I used to believe that there was a God and that God had a reason for us on earth and that we should find his way and he had a plan for our lives and everything else.
So yeah, I remember that.
I remember that one too. That sort of thing.
I think I had that.
I've gone through a questioning period about human suffering. I question whether or not God's fallible. I don't know. We had a guy...
Question whether God exists?
I went through that a few times, although I do believe God does exist.
Yeah.
I know I have...
I think I lost my hat. So I put in my pen?
There's been a lot of questions, but I don't mind the pain. It's just as long as you see you know the direction you're going in, type of thing.
Yeah.
Like if it's not mandatory to try to better ourselves, then why not just say the hell of it? I've got some money saved up and then buy a car and just really let loose, type of thing. Why not? Well, I don't know. Something's holding me back.
What would let loose mean?
Let loose. Instead of buying the home computer for a word processor type of thing, why not just take the money? I've got about $3,000 to $4,000 saved up.
Great.
Take a long holiday. Just live one day at a time and just, you know, like there's no
Buy a woman.
Eh?
Buy a woman.
Well, I don't believe in that, but I'm on the right track.
Find one.
Like think of my own personal needs. What's wrong in going into a bar and slipping a back of beers, getting bombed every night, and what's so bad about that? I haven't gone to the bar in over 2 months now.
Yeah.
So I still drink.
Still drink?
Oh yeah.
You weren't drinking when I knew you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Lost about 25 pounds. I basically cut up my cholesterol in my diet. Lowered my cholesterol intake. Cut up fat foods. So I'm watching what I eat. But the key thing is I got all the debts paid off. 85, 86 was extremely painful because I had a lot of time to think. Thinking of those debts, doing overtime, doing security work.
You're a security guard?
I'm working as a security guard now. The job, the company now, this company now is with third company in the last
What's the name of the company?
First Protection. And yes, we're looking for staff. But
Wagner's family photo.
but
You going to work now?
no, my day off day. I don't mind the pain and the struggle. I just want to see, what's the word? Some sort of thing like
The point of it all.
yeah, the meaning of it. Why I want to see the right proper direction. Right now, that lacks in my life. Now, whether or not there's a reason for this disillusion, maybe it's maybe there's a reason. I don't know. Only time will tell. But again, like over the years, I've met a couple of religious people, and one guy I used to work with one time. He was a fundamentalist Christian, and I told him about my personal struggle, and he says, I told him I sort of questioned God at this moment, whether God is fallible or infallible, or whether or not he'll come through. And he was so assured of himself that God would come through regardless. And like, I admire that kind of faith, but I'm wondering, yeah, but I'm wondering if he really, you know, these fundamentalist Christians, they tend to think that God's infallible. I'm not saying that he's not infallible, but there's a lot of unanswered questions there. A lot of questions that I have my doubts about. Like one of the questions is, goes back to the Bible where Moses parted the Red Sea, protected Jews from the Egyptians as part of the Red Sea, right? Well, if Moses, God could, whatever, I don't know the whole story, but the Jews were protected by the parting of the Red Sea.
Yeah.
My question is, why didn't God do the same and protect the Jews from the Nazis in World War II?
Right.
I mean, there's so many, taking many stories from the Bible and applying it at the present time, a lot of it just doesn't make sense. And I've gone through a lot of questioning. And I have my own opinions about certain things. The concept of reincarnation comes into being.
You believe in reincarnation?
Let me put it this way. To say that we are born and then we die and we go to heaven just like that is too abstract. I think there's an element of accountability. But if I'm like the average, and because I've led a life of basic mere existence, if I'm damned to hell for that, I think most people are going to be damned to hell for that. I tend to think that we are here on this earth to find a reason, and I think that, well, I don't know, I tend to think that if we don't get it right, we're sort of sent back to earth and we have to try again until we get it right. Some people will call it the karma circle, some people will call it reincarnation. I don't know. It's a very interesting to debate, but it's just, the thing is that most people are leading a life of basic mere existence, and to me that's such a waste. You know?
Well, it's life. What can I say?
Yeah. But as I said, it's like there's no logic in giving us life for 70 odd years and then end eternal life type of thing. I mean, why give us life in the beginning? I mean, there's no logic to it.
Can't argue with you.
As a writer poet, you should know that. Poets are writers.
Go on turning here, right?